Greetings, listeners, and welcome to The Spiritual Experience, a show where we share stories of life, love, and redemption for all of humanity on Earth. So sit back and enjoy. Try to identify with the speakers and not compare. Don't forget to subscribe on all podcast platforms. I'm your host, Jay Lewis, and here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back. Spiritual Experience. Hope you guys are well. Hope everybody's doing good. I just spent a weekend down there in Tampa. Had a little bit of a rough time before I left. I recorded a really good episode with my boy John that somehow got zapped. It was very annoying. It was like a complete exercise of letting go. There's nothing I could do. It's like, I was having problems transferring it or whatever from the memory, so that sucks. That's the second time that happened. The other time was actually my fault when my homegirl was here. And, I was working with the freaking micro SD card in my pocket or whatever, and I fucking broke the thing. This was a different thing, and this was a really good story, so I'm going to have to just ask him if we can just do it again, which would be nice, He's got a great story, and, he's an interesting guy. Everybody's got their own ways, it's got their own personality, it's got their own stuff, so it was awesome, though. It was nice just to, and he was grateful. He was grateful that I asked him. So I have like half my family is down there in Tampa. And I went down there, freaking dolo, bro. I went without my girl, without the kids. And it was like 2 days of like hanging out, but not like hanging out, obviously. I'm sober, which is cool, But I gotta say, like, I can't really, I was devastated by the time I get home. I stayed out till like 3 a.m. one night. I don't know who the hell is banging on the door. Hang on. Okay, we're back. There was nobody banging on the door. I don't know what that was. Maybe that was like the evil spirits trying to tell me not to badmouth my family or something. In case they were scared I was going to do it. I don't know. I honestly thought it was like my crazy neighbor where I work at my workplace. I have a neighbor who's fucking crazy, bro. This guy. He complains and complains. And he's just like he's a yenta. Yeah, he's just a fucking, how could we say it in Spanish? He's like a mamao, or like a fucking cabrón, but not like, mira cabrón, like my boy, but like, this guy is just a real fucking, he's a real piece of work. Anyway, he's like this swanky guy. I don't know. He has a whole costume on. But he's like a photographer, and he complains, about my work. And he's saying that there's like chemical smells coming from my unit to his unit. And it's bullshit. I don't even share a wall with the fucking guy. And, like the management company is like crying. Like they're like calling me all the time. Like, bro, why are you calling me? And it was crazy because like, I spent a lot of money in my space, building things and making it, functional. And, this guy, he's like really being annoying to them. But I know that it's him. I know that it's not me. So I'm doing everything that I can, But the management lady, like the lady who works for the management company, she called me. She was like, listen, blah, 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 And I fucking barked at her. I was like, yo, is he there right now? I said, I'm coming right back to the building right now. Because there's nobody there, Anyway, so I go with him. I go with the super, who's my boy's African dude named Booba. Booba's the best, right? So we bang on his door, and he's across the hall from me. The guy comes out, and he's like, "Oh, holly jolly," shaking my hand. I'm like, bro, how you making problems for me, and then you come out like some fucking, like, "Oh, how are you?" Like, and he's wearing freaking platform shoes, bro. What else can I really say about a grown man who wears freaking platform shoes? Like, come on, bro. Are you serious right now? He's got like a ring on every finger. He's a photographer. It's like, oh, the models come in and they said this, that, and the third. It smells, whatever. That I use all these chemicals with my work. Meanwhile, he's got a mask on. We're standing outside my unit, in between mine and his. I don't smell shit. Booba don't smell shit. The guy, I was like, yo, you want to come inside and see what the hell I do? Now, mind you, my guys just finished working in here, so it did smell a little bit in here. But it wasn't even that bad. Booba's like, nah, it's not that bad. The guy's like, yeah. He's like, yo, you're in here all the time, so you don't even really smell it, which could be true. Except for the fact that if he's making complaints, we should be inside his unit to see if the smell is going underneath my door, which I have like one of those door stopper things, across the hall, underneath his door into his unit. Like, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So what I was explaining, anyway, so when the lady called right before that, when I told her, like, yo, I'm on the way, I was a little rough with her on the phone, because it's fucking annoying. I'm like, now you're disturbing me for this guy, I mean, I haven't been here that long. That guy's been here maybe 4 or 5 years, whatever. This is my second year in this building. And I pay my rent every month on time. I don't make no problems for anybody. Everybody loves me. And, yeah. So I was like, yo, Booba, it's very possible that this guy, he's having a hard time and he can't pay his bills or whatever. So he's thinking that if he, if he makes a fucking stink, then that's it. He makes a fucking stink and then he don't have to pay because of this, that, and the third. It's like fucking crazy, man. Anyway, so because I was a little bit rough with her, I went and, wow, man, I'm taking deep breaths. I don't know what's up with me, man. 3 days of eating in Florida. No running, no nothing. That's what it is. I'm a fat fuck. But either way, yeah. So, like, I had to, like, I went by the hotel where they collect the rent and all that stuff. And, 1 second. I'm getting another text message. This is crazy. Oh, man. Let me see. This is my therapist. See if I can push it back to 8:30. Yeah, she has me for 7:30 today. Or can I come tomorrow? Yeah, that's how a little bit unmanageable my life is. That I'd be forgetting what days I have therapy. So, whatever. I went to the hotel. And I left like a card with like $30-$40 in there or something for the lady saying I'm sorry and a little plant for her desk. Like, I'm sorry I was rude to you. And she don't even respond, For like 2 weeks, she don't respond, which is crazy. So that's that. And then she finally calls. And she says, she's like, oh, he's complaining again. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. And she's like, okay. She's like, oh, also, thank you. Thank you so much for the card and for everything. I'm sorry it took me a while to get back to you. It's been very busy and whatever. I'm like, yo, somebody, like I actually sat there for like 45 minutes waiting for her allegedly to be on. She was on the phone. She was probably scared to see me because she didn't know what the fuck was going on. She's like, oh, this guy who I'm bothering about about his neighbor, he's now he's here and he wants to come check me. So, and she's like an older black lady. I think she's Haitian or West Indian or something. So, yeah, that was the deal. So she calls me back and then she's like, all right, and she says, also, I have to ask you the big question, which is, are you looking to re-sign your lease? It's like, bro, my lease is not even up till September. And like, yes, I will stay here as long as I can. I don't know what this guy's problem is. She didn't even know the layout of the place. That's why I don't understand. She don't even know it. It's like, she's like, yo, you don't even share. I said, I don't even share a wall with the guy. She's like, that's why. I said, there's people next door to me. They're not saying anything. It's just him. Anyway, those conversations, they gave me severe financial insecurity because it took a lot for me to move my business, and I don't want to have to do it again. It was a fucking pain. And even after you move, it's taken like, a year and a half to get really settled in where I can really start humming, And for this guy, for this guy to try and upset the apple cart, it's a little bit fucked up. And anyway, so financial insecurity set in, and I was like, I couldn't sleep. I was already Googling and looking up for, different spaces to move or whatever. Just letting those runaway thoughts run away with me. And they robbed me of nights of sleep, like maybe one night. And I typically take Unisom at night or whatever, if I have to, in order to make sure I get some good ass sleep. Because my brain be on fire, excuse me. And so that was tough. I had a lot of balls in the air, last week. This guy's episode got zapped. I had this lady. And then I was going out of town Friday. So I get on the plane. I go down to Florida. I'm so happy. Damn, man. I go down there. Florida's like a whole nother world. There's good stuff. And then there's stuff that's not so good. I wouldn't say not so good. I'm just saying it's not for me. You got to really drive everywhere. I mean, I drive everywhere now. But I can do something in 1 hour that would take 2.5 hours down there because everything is 30 minutes away. Everything. But it was dope. I rented another Tesla, which I can go on and on about those things, man. Those things are I wish I had the space for one here in Brooklyn. I would love that thing. They're so freaking awesome. I had the Model S, and it was an old one. What year was it? I'll tell you right now. You guys definitely need to go in the Turo app and rent these because they're so dope. It was a 2016. The kid said, he says, I should get one in 2016. It was $43,000 the guy paid. He says there was zero chance I was going to spend $40,000 or $50,000 on a BMW, Mercedes, or a Lexus. And I left a shirt in the back of the car. An Anunnaki shirt. That's funny. So there was that. So I had the Tesla. I was flying around. I got to see my family. We surprised my cousin Eric that, I made it a point to go see him. He spent a lot of time coming up here to see my sister, and he was close with her. And he's he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and I love him a lot. And he's a work in progress like the rest of us. And it's funny because, I'm the baby, and nobody puts him in check. But I be checking him a little bit, and everyone's like, whoa. I was like, you guys don't tell him about himself? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, I do. I'm allowed. What is he going to do? He's not going to do nothing to me. He's not. Anyway, I stayed at his house, and he's a beautiful person. He lives in a beautiful house with his wife, Yolanda. And that was nice. So anyway, we surprised him. It was so funny because when I got down there, what happened was I had the wrong address. So I wanted to just surprise him. And I parked my car with the music on in somebody else's driveway, just sitting there for 25 minutes waiting for him. Yo. And I texted her yo, where are you? And she was like, oh, we've been home. I was like, what? She's like, oh, you got the wrong address. Anyway, so I was like a few houses away looking like a stupid. And that was okay. But I had a great time partying. So anyway, surprise him. Boom, right? And that was nice. And then I get dressed, go to surprise my cousin for his 40th, right? We're meeting at this hotel. He's in a hotel, and his wife set the whole thing up. And I'm outside with like a few of his friends that he grew up with from the Bronx. And or from wherever. One kid was from Wisconsin, but originally from the Bronx. Beautiful people. Everybody was just so awesome. And it was wild because, like, you know, while they were setting this whole thing up, it was a big group text of like 30 people. And it was like freaking crazy. Like the group text was just like really, it was like mayhem, you know? So there was that. And yeah. So we surprised him and he was like crying, you know, and he's like a big tough guy. But he was crying and we had a good time. We went, we ate, and, you know, there was just a lot of people in the restaurant. At that time, we had a party of maybe 15, about 15 of us, and that was cool. And I ordered a ribeye, and the other kids, they ordered a ribeye. I was smoking cigars. We were hanging out. And the lady, like the waitress, she doesn't bring me a ribeye. She brought me a strip, which is funny. And I just took it. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to, I'm just going to eat it. Because they made it right. I wanted it medium rare. Anyway, so the kid next to me, he also gets a ribeye. The girl across from me, she got the strip, but she got it well done. And, yo, when I mean that shit was well done, like, she was the butt joke of the whole night. Like, it was so tough, her meat, that they needed, like a saw. And I know places like that, they get very angry when you ask for a steak well done. Like, they don't really like that kind of stuff, but it was whatever. So we did that, and that was cool. And then, like, you know, I didn't even make it stink. Like, there's so much. I was talking to my other cousin when I first got down there, my cousin Clarissa, like, well, you know, she's like, oh, let's go eat sushi and this and that. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And I met with her and her daughter to eat sushi. Her daughter is so, she's like special, man. She's like a sweet, sweet kid. So we go to have sushi, and sushi's like, sushi wherever. I'm sure there's good sushi somewhere in Tampa, but that wasn't it. I mean, it was okay. It just wasn't great. You know, I'm used to what I'm used to here. And over there, the fish, it was like a little bit fishy. You know, it was a little bit fishy, and it wasn't that dope. So, but, you know, they didn't, so I was talking with her, and she was like, yeah, you know, everybody's like, again, there's like, where my family lives, there's different politics. There's like politics in Florida, who doesn't fuck with who's angry at who's sensitive about what, and this and that and whatever. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, dude, all you got to do is just be a guest. You're not this guy's wife. And, I mean, she wasn't talking negative or anything like that. I was just speaking matter of factly. I was like, yo, I'm happy I can just be here to surprise him and, you know, and just be a guest and let the drama unfold. It ain't going to be because of me. You know, it ain't going to be because of me. It's not my drama. So I'm like, all right, whatever, B. So we're getting the food. I just went from dinner back. Now I'm at like pre-dinner. Sorry. All right, because this was a funny story that happened too. And there's not too many things, you know, this is not going to be like a super deep conversation today. This is kind of maybe me just, you know, dusting off the wheels or something and getting back into recording and being with you guys who I love all the way to if you're listening to this, I love you. Understand that. Anyway, so we're getting to sushi, and then she's like, yeah, you know, she's speaking to me about whatever, her new job, and she's, you know, trying to, I guess, clean up her act in a ways where she's like, look, I have all these people on Facebook, all these people on Instagram. Do I really know them? Do I really want to know them? Like, you know, she's going through that phase of her evolution where she says she wants to be very like deliberate with her actions and whatever. She's probably reading some really good books. Maybe the Four Agreements or something, which is really helpful if you guys haven't read it. So we get the sushi, and then she's like, yeah, she said she was thinking about learning another language. And I told her, I said, I wanted to learn Russian. You know, even though I'm like 2/3 of the way there maybe with the Spanish, but I was like, I'd love to learn Russian. It sounds so beautiful to me. You know, but being from New York, I can tell one language from another. Like if somebody was speaking Russian and somebody was speaking Polish, I could be like, that's Polish and that's Russian. I don't understand what the words are, but I know what the languages sound like. So, which was cool. Anyway, so I'm making jokes with like the old Japanese battle axe lady waitresses and whatever. So the sushi is, it's you know, it's okay. On a scale of, you know, takeout from like a whatever to 10, which is my favorite spot, it was like maybe 5 or 6, you know? Like if I got that at Wegmans or something, it would be okay. No disrespect to them or Wegmans, because, you know, I've been spending a lot of time there at the fucking wing bar. They probably got a chair waiting for me right now. So, you know, I asked for dessert. Yeah, I asked for dessert. And the lady's like, oh, we only have, you know, ice cream. Like she was like, and I told her, I said, you got mochi? She's like, yeah. Like she was shocked I knew what it was. So you have green tea? She's like, yeah. I said, bring it. And my cousin and her kid, they didn't know what mochi was, you know. So we get the green tea mochi. They don't really like it. I mean, they like it, but they don't love it. Like I love green tea mochi. And they did it right. They came with the whipped cream and shit. They didn't have the fried ice cream, which is really amazing. That is really amazing. But they had the mochi. And I enjoy that. You know, it's a little gummy on the outside, and it's got the ice cream on the inside. So the little one, you know, I was like, you want to see if they have vanilla? She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, no problem. So I, you know, to the waitress, I get her attention. And it was so funny because, you know what? Like when we got there, we were like the first customer of the day. My cousin orders a beer, and they gave her like 2 beers. They're like, yeah, you get one for free. I was like, it's crazy. It's fucking state. Giving out 2 free beers to people driving around kids. But whatever, right? Florida is Florida. So, you know, the lady's like, I was like, what flavor do you have? She's like, we have vanilla. And then going back to the language and accent thing, like my cousin thinks that she said banana. And she's like, oh, banana sounds good. Yeah, we'll take it. And I was like, all right. She said vanilla. She's like, no. She said banana. I was like, I promise you. She said vanilla. She said, no, she said banana. I said, okay. Guess what comes to the table? Guess who can pick out accents and languages and who cannot? Yeah, so vanilla came to the table. I was like, yo, I told you, man. I said, I can hear. My mom had a busted, what do you call it? Accent my whole life. So broken English, I can understand broken English very well, no matter what language you're speaking it. Because my mom spoke broken English to me my whole life. Anyway, so that was cool. Then I surprised Eric. And then we go to the place where we're having the steak. Now I'm going on like this whole food thing, right? So I get the steak. And on top of that is funny because I ordered like the shrimp cocktails. And, they weren't like jumbo shrimp, but it was good. The food was good. And you know what? It wasn't expensive. So it's like, listen, if you're not paying $75 or whatever for a steak, what are you really complaining about? I paid $30, $40 for this thing. And I was a little bit, it was funny because like the lady asked everybody for their sides and she didn't ask me if I wanted a side. I was like, oh, I guess you're just bringing the fish and the meat for me, which is okay. I mean, because that's my style. I don't really take sides unless it's like spinach or whatever. But listen, I'm not getting, sauteed spinach when I'm out with 20 people. And I don't know how close the bathroom is going to be depending on how good or bad they make it. So I would have stuck with some potatoes or French fries or whatever. But it was good. It was good. So anyway, so with my cousin, now that we surprised him, and I'm thinking about it now, and it was like such an amazing thing. And I love him so much, man. He's like my brother, fucking Louis. Anyway, so they give him a side of mashed potatoes. He's like, he doesn't really want it. So I'm like, yo, I'll take it. And then he goes to give it to me, and the lady goes to take it from him and not let him give it to me. And we looked at each other. He's like, yo, he told the lady, yo, let go. That's my cousin. He can have the potatoes. That's my cousin, man. What do you mean? Let go. He told the lady, let go. That was funny, man. That was funny. So we had those, we had the meal, and it was magic. Everybody was there. My cousin Melissa and her husband Chris. Oh my, I love that guy too. These are people who I don't get to see a lot. You know what I'm saying? And there's always been, all right, that's the last sip of that Gatorade Zero. There's always been like a little bit of a disconnect because they're all the way down there in Florida. And I'm over here and I have a very, very busy life, and they have a supremely busy life. Everybody down there has kids. My cousin Melissa just started a business down there. If you're down there in Florida, what is the name of it? Because I need to shout it out. Because I want them to get that shmoney. Man. Let me see. Hold on, Mel. It's called let me see if she has it on here. It's called something cleaning. I forgot the name of it. I'm so sorry. But I will put it in the show notes. And if you are in the Tampa, Unique Cleaning LLC. My bad. There it is. Unique Cleaning LLC. Yes. Please give them a call. If you're down there, she does what? Housekeeping. She's in the Tampa Bay Wesley Chapel, whatever. So it's unique_cleaning_ LLC on Instagram. Or you guys find me and I'll connect you to them. They do really good work, oddly enough. I'm not saying it because she's my cousin and it's the pictures that she puts. But I know that she doesn't fuck around, which is nice. She's a tough ass, Bronx Puerto Rican girl that can clean her ass off. I mean, she's incredibly smart and she's beautiful and all these other things. But when she wants to get busy work, she gets busy work, so which is good. So make sure you guys give them a call. So with her husband, and that was cool. She set it up with my cousin's wife, Gisette, who is also 17 months pregnant. I mean, her belly was all the way out to fucking, Tennessee. It's crazy, and this is their second baby in I don't know how long, 2 years or something or whatever. So, but it's dope. They just had a daughter a year ago, I think. I think she's maybe a year old. Her name is Sophie Love, and she's the cutest thing ever. So I got to hang out with them. We have the meal. We smoke cigar, chill. We go to the casino. I go sit at the casino at the table blackjack. I'm like, yo, I'm going to play blackjack. I don't gamble. I don't like to gamble, because I lose. But I was like, you know what? And it was funny because, we had a pretty good week at work or whatever. And I wasn't paying for, I felt like I was flush is what I'm saying. Here's the rationale. I felt like I was flush. You're like, yeah. So I got $100 in chips. We're sitting at the $25 table. Within 2 hours, my $100 is worth $900. But I see that my homeboy, Chris, Melissa's husband, he's got my other cousin, Tatiana, next to him. And he's just when he's up and he's winning, he's giving her the chips to hold. And I don't have nobody holding me down, really. And I should have been utilizing her because she's such a sweetheart and she would have did it for me. But I was in the moment, the magic was happening. So within 2 hours, I won a bunch of money and then I gave it all back and lost that last 100. And then that was it. I was like, all right, I'm out of here. The rest of them went to go play poker, whatever. And that's that casino life, that they live down there. They go periodically, and they're smart, man. I should have just been like, dude, I'm taking I put 100 down. I got 700 in profit. I should have just walked away. It was so easy. It was 3 people, and they were helping me. And even the dealer was helping me, And the table was running hot. And I won a couple of $100 hands. I was like, leave it. Boom, boom, boom. I was in the moment, Tesla'd out, Stressla. You know, I was wearing my Yeezys, my Red Octobers, which are unbelievable, super throwbacks. There was a guy in the airport that saw them, and then I went in a random gas station down there. Only like super duper sneakerheads would know what they are. And I went in the gas station. The guy's like, dude, I'm so sorry. He's like, dude, are those real? Like on my feet? And I said, yes. He says, I saw you walking around, and then I saw the back, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's got the, yes, they are. Thank you very much. You know, because I saw somebody else take a picture of them in the airport, like a young kid that knew them, the Red Octobers. And remember, it was funny, I told that story about how, like, the kids in the elevator thought my wash boots were the new Yeezys. These are the old Yeezys, but the Red Octobers are super classics. And I'm grateful I have them. My son and Emily got them for me. You know, even though I fucking bitched about it a month later because it was so expensive. And that was stupid of me at the time, but I'm so grateful, you know, and I love them. And I love the shoes. I don't get to wear them that often. You know, a couple of times a year, 5-6 times a year, whatever. But I feel so good with them on my feet because I really love them. They're fucking dope. They're fucking dope. These are Red Octobers. Like, I love that. Yeah, so there was that. So we did that, and then I went to sleep. It was like 3 a.m. I drove back to my cousin's house. I went to sleep 3. I got up at like 7 or 8. And then we had a whole day. You know, and it was nice, and I got to see my... That was funny. I didn't mean to hit that, but it came at the right spot. Anyway, I got to, I got to spend the next day, which was Saturday, with my other little cousins during the day. I wasn't, they were all going jet skiing, and then more people were coming to surprise Louie on Saturday during the day. But I couldn't do that because I was running around, seeing people. You know, saw my little cousin. They had to change an alternator on their car. I watched Eric do it. It was like fucking engineering magic. And that was cool. And I ate. And then they went to meet up again Saturday night at this place that was so dope. You know, the vibe was really good. The food was pretty good. Really good, actually. The food was pretty good. It wasn't like, oh, my God, we had, I think there's a place called Sofrito on 57th Street. I went there so long ago. The guy that owned Jimmy's Bronx Cafe, or Jimmy's, I think he opened that one. Either way, it's hard for me to eat Spanish food outside the house because my girl cooks it like fucking, you know what I'm saying? And my mother, even though she's got, 89-year-old taste buds, or however old she is. Anyway, so the food was really good. The music was mad loud. There was there was a lot going on. And one thing I noticed was like in Florida, I even texted my girl, but I was like, dude, every dude down here has like gold chains. You know, they're just walking around with gold chains on, like on the outside of their shirt. And they look fly, man. My cousin had them. My cousin's cousin had them. You know, everybody, everywhere I went, like these, these white guys, Spanish guys, whatever. They all had gold chains on. And I didn't have any. I just had my regular prayer beats. I text my girl. I was like, dude, I was like, everybody got gold chains. She's like, yeah, I know, I like them. I was like, what? I was like, maybe I should get some. But I never wore them. Because growing up, if you had gold chains on, you had to fight, bro. They were coming for you. You would have to fight. You know? So, like, I'm always paranoid about that. I'm like, dude, if I have this gold on, that's another reason for people to step to me. That I didn't, yeah. I don't even want that energy around. But I guess maybe in Florida, it's like, since everybody has them, nobody does anything to anybody for them. But here, if I go to the store, who knows? Anything could happen, man. I don't know. So, but when I got home, my girl's like, no, I like them for me. You don't have to get them. I was like, okay, good. Because I don't, in my mind, I want them. But I also know they're not like 100% my style. So, we'll see. Maybe one day, maybe not. Either way, so that night, I ended up staying up till also like 2 or 3 in the morning. We cut a cake for my cousin. Then they all went to like a cigar lounge, which is, you know, if I had another day to stay there, I definitely would have went because I'm like the cigar maniac. And but instead I saw my cousin Lisette, which was nice, you know, and then I went to sleep like 2:30 in the morning. I was like deadbeat tired. Then I got to get up at 7 to get to the airport, and then I came home. And let me tell you, 2 days of staying up till 2:30, 3 in the morning, I don't know how these people do it, especially if they're drinking. Jesus. I was sober and I was exhausted by the time I got home yesterday. And mind you, I get to the airport in Tampa and we're like half hour late for like loading up. And I'm in like the even more space all the way in the front of the plane, you know, because that's how I roll. For $40, I get, you know, a lot more room. So I got like my little sleepy mask on. I'm like a fucking, I don't know, I'm like an old white lady who's in first class. I got the thing that covers my eyes. I'm wearing my hoodie. I'm getting ready to just take a nap. And this jerk off with his partner, his wife, whatever, bro, they don't want to, you know, they don't want to wear the mask. They don't want to wear it. It's bad. And I'm like, dude, is that really happening right now? Like, you don't want to wear the mask? That's like fucking crazy. And they delayed the plane 25 minutes and then they walked off the plane. So I'm like, who the hell goes through security at an airport, gets all the way to being inside the plane? Let me see this. 9:30 Wednesday is fine. Yeah, so I'm rescheduling my appointment. Anyway, so yeah, who the hell goes all the way through security, takes off their shoes, all of that shit, sits in the freaking gate, gets on the plane, and then is like, no, I'm not going to wear the mask. Who the hell has that kind of time in their life? Like, what is going on? And to delay the rest of us just because you don't want to, you know, it's like fucking crazy. I couldn't, I didn't understand it at all. But hey, man, that's what it was. And then when I got back here, you know, I got back here as soon as I'm right. I know I'm right in New York. As soon as I get back, I get my stuff. I come outside. There's like Dominican cab drivers who are not Ubers or whatever. And he's like, Papi, you need a car? Where you going? Where you going? Now, at first, I'm waiting for my bag at the carousel, and this little Mexican guy comes to ask me if I need a car. I was like, no, I'm good right now. So I get my stuff, and I go. And the Dominican guy's like, yo, do you need a car, man? And I was like, yeah. I was like, what do you got? I said, I'm going here. You know, exit 5 on the belt, Bay Parkway. He's like, okay, no problem, 75. I was like, dollars? I said, bro, you crazy? I said, I'm from here, man. $75, no way. I said, I'll call Uber, get $45 right now. He was like, no, man, it's just a lot of traffic. I was like, look, I'm not trying to stop your hustle. I'm letting you know it ain't it. And I start walking, right? So then I pull out my phone. I'm ready to go in the Uber app. I turn around. This motherfucker's standing right next to me. He's like, come on, man, 75. Yeah, I know. I was like, dude, I told you no, man, 70. Like, no means no. No means no. Right? So I was like, bro, no way, man. I said, 75. I said, look, I'm not trying to disrespect you, man, but number one, don't follow me. And two, I'm like, you know, I can't pay 75. Like, I can't. You got the wrong guy, man. I hit the Uber and it was $44, bro. I tipped the guy like $6 or something. He flew me home. He was like, shh. He's like, I can tell you're tired, man. I was like, bro, I'm way tired. You know, I got home. I was angry. I was irritated. Not from not having a good time. I had the best time ever. But I just wish it was longer. I wish that those hangout sessions was stretched out over like maybe 4 days. And that would have been easier for me. If I would have slept more, I would have saw everybody more. And that would have been fantastic. So that was nice. But on 2 days, I got like 6 hours or 7 hours of sleep in 2 days, which is no good for me because I'm fucking crazy. So I was angry. I was irritated. I was hungry. I got home. I had some pasta. Wifey was like, "You want me to make you like the zucchini noodles?" I was like, "Nah, I just want the regular pasta. I want to feel like shit, even more than I do." So I had the pasta and the meat sauce, and then I took a nap for like 3 hours. I got up. I went to a meeting. Shout out my boy Sam and Conrad. They came to scoop me up. I went to the meeting. It was a good meeting. I came back home. I took 4 Unisom. I went right to fucking sleep. And then came to work today to put out some fires and shit that was going on. Get back caught up with you people, my family. I got some good stuff coming in the pipeline. Some good guests. Everybody's they're moving and shaking, and it's nice. It's really good. We appreciate all of the love and all the support out there. Shout out to all of our military peoples. You know who you are. We love you. And yeah, man, we'll catch up with you guys later on this week on the flip side. And by the way, don't go down there looking in Florida for no deals. Because I promise you, real estate, everything is flying out there. Holy shit. This is my last thing where, my little cousin, it's her and her dude, right? He's from Jersey. And freaking, bro, they're paying like fucking $1,700 for a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like, yo, are you crazy? You can do that in Brooklyn, somewhere, And good fat shout to my cousin Tito and Betsy, man. They, I got to spend an afternoon with them and meet their grandbabies, and that was so lovely. Man, they got these 2 little munchkins. I don't want to fucking mess up their names. It's like Narnia or some kind of like, what do you call it? Some like fairy. They sound like names that you would be in one of those Narnia movies, but like for the angel little butterfly people. That's what it sounds like. The 2 of them. But they're fucking incredible, man. And they were so cute. And I wish I could spend a whole day there. But I was charging a Tesla. And I skipped out on like an hour. But yeah, and who knew that charging the Tesla, bro, you find an actual Tesla charging station and it's freaking for free, which is nice, It's really nice. So one day we'll get it all together. But anyway, I love you guys. Fry is strong, Velez strong, Diaz strong, Pacheco's, whatever. Those are all my family names, and that's that. All right. I love you guys. Peace. Okay, everybody. We'd like to thank you for joining us on the Spiritual Experience. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, Pandora, everywhere. And please find us on Facebook where you can become part of our family. We'll see you around.